Hi and welcome to the video on multiplying and dividing indices. By the end of this video, you should be able to use the multiplying and dividing laws with indices. So let's have a look at what that means. We'll take a look at the multiplying law first, and I'd like you to remember that m cubed, or m to the power of 3, means m times m times m. That is, m multiplied by itself 3 times. This means that m to the power of 4 would just be m times m times m times m. That's m multiplied by itself 4 times. The reason why I bring this up is if I wanted to multiply those two things together, that is m to the power of 3 times m to the power of 4, this is what it would look like. M times m times m times m times m times m times m. There's 7 of them. And so when m is multiplied by itself 7 times, we get m to the power of 7. What do you notice about the powers in the question and the powers in the answer? Well, if you saw that there was a relationship where we would add them together, that is the rule for multiplying indices. That is, if a term with an index is multiplied by another term with an index, then we need to add the indices together. Now this only works if the base is the same, that is, that if the m is the same in both of the terms, but that's the multiplying law. Let's take a look at the dividing law. Now dividing is opposite of multiplying, so our rule should really be the opposite of the rule that we just looked at. So let's have a look at what that means. Now remember that a squared will just mean a times a. That means that a to the power of 5 means a times itself 5 times. So if I wanted to divide both of those things, that is a to the power of 5 divided by a to the power of 2, I've got to remember that division looks just like a fraction. So I would have a fraction where I would have a to the power of 5 on top, and I would divide it by a to the power of 2 on the bottom. Now whenever you cancel in a fraction like this, that is, you have something common in the top and something common in the bottom, we cancel them out like this. We just cross them out. And for every a on top that is matches up with an a down the bottom, we can cancel them out. This leaves me with a times a times a, which is a cubed. Now what do you notice about the relationship between the powers in the question and the power in the answer? And if you said that 5 take away 2 equals 3, well, that's the rule that we're looking at for the dividing law. That is, if we have a term with an index and it's divided by another term with an index, then we're going to subtract the indices. Now we're going to take those rules and we're going to apply it to 5 examples. I'd like you to pause the video, write down the examples, and see what you can come up with for these questions. Okay, I hope you paused the video. Here are the answers. The first one, m to the power of 5 times m to the power of 12. Well, we're going to keep the m the same and we're going to add the powers. This means that a simplified version would be just m to the power of 17. For question 2, I would keep the d the same and I would have 20 take away 19 because that's the rule for dividing. I end up with just d, or d to the power of 1, but we don't write the 1. 3 and 4 and 5 have coefficients. That is, there are numbers in front of our powers. So what we do with these coefficients is we start off by multiplying them together. So 5 times 3 is going to give us 15. That's the start of our answer. Then what we're going to do is multiply the letters. A squared times a to the power of 4 is a to the power of 6. I add the powers together. So that's the answer for number 3. For question 4, I start off by doing 12 divided by 4, which is 3. And then I do b to the power of 8 divided by b to the power of 5. And I subtract the powers and I get b to the power of 3. Finally, question 5 is a little bit longer. I start off with the coefficients just like I did with the other ones. I do 4 times 6, which is 24. And then I divide by 8, which is 3. I'm then going to add the powers for the times part of the question, so that's going to be m to the power of 12, and then I'm going to need to subtract the m to the power of 11, which just gives me m, or m to the power of 1, which is the answer to number 5. I'd like you to pause and summarize everything on this screen. That includes the rules on the right hand side. You should already have the questions and the answers written down. And that's it. Hopefully you understand the multiplying and dividing laws with indices. And if you have any questions, as always, you can ask in class. Good luck.